What's up, everybody? Squirrel Man's back again. Still sitting here at home. I'm taking off in a couple of days. Um, but I can't give you guys too much information right now because I got this really cool surprise coming up and I don't want to give it away. Um, but I promise you're going to like what you see. The reason why I was making this video is because I want to talk about like home time and vacation time. How much vacation time do truckers actually get? Well, it really depends what company you work for. But the most important thing I can tell you before I even start talking is when you go to apply for a company, let's say that in the ad they say 3 weeks out and 4 days home. Don't just settle for that. You got to negotiate because you got to remember they want drivers. So say, okay, I'll do 3 weeks out, but I want 5 days home, something like that. They're not going to give you like a huge stretch. Like if they offer 4 days home and you ask for 7, you might not get it. You could be like, hey, I'll take a job right now, but I want that 7 days. There's really like a 70-30 chance that you're going to get it, and that 70% is on your side. Don't forget about vacation time, because you do accrue vacation time. You build vacation time. So when you really need that, that's when you need to use it. Like say if you have family problems, or there's reasons why you need to stay home longer. Like if you come home for your 5 days and all of a sudden you have to be stuck home for 10 days, that's when you want to use your vacation time. Don't just use it. That's stupid. That stuff needs to stay deep in the pocket until you really, really need it. I'm using my vacation time right now because I'm home for longer than I expected, and I'm not going to get into that. But there's also companies out there like when I first started with Pam. Guys, when you start out as a rookie driver, don't listen to every single person they talk. Just because they work for the company don't mean they're a genius. Just because they work for the company don't mean they're not lying to you. Because when I first started with Pam, this lady tried to tell me I was supposed to be out for like 30 days and be home for 2. And I was like, what? No, I'm not doing that. What do you think? I'm going to live in this truck for my entire life? No, fuck you. I'm not doing that. So we ended up actually doing, with me and Biscuit working, when we were working for Pam, we actually ended up doing like 2 weeks out and like 4 or 5 days home. That was our real schedule. So when you're talking to the company, don't take everybody's word for it like a random employee. You really want to wait until you get to your driver manager. When you get to your driver manager assigned to you, then you can really negotiate your time off. The only other person you can really negotiate that with is the recruiter. Because like when you first start talking to the recruiter, you can be like, hey, well, first of all, you want to write down a list of questions to ask them. And then you really want to be adamant about certain things, and especially like your home time. Be like, hey, this is what I got. I'm willing to work. I got a clean record. I got this much experience, but I want this many days out and I want this much time home, and that's it. And I'm not being flexible on it. And if they don't want to be flexible on it, who cares? Go to another company. There's like 5 billion companies out there. Don't even sweat it. I've applied to companies and never heard anything back from them. And don't think that because you have a clean record like I do. I am squeaky clean across the board. I have nothing. Knock on wood. I have nothing on my record at all. And I've still been turned down by companies. Z Transportation turned me down. I don't know why. Like I said, I have a clean record. I have experience. I have everything they need. And I don't know why you turn me down, but it just happens. It just happens. So, and don't get all upset about it, because there's always another company out there. And there's pros and cons to every company, losing a job like that, or a job offer like that, it's not always a bad thing because every company has their pros and cons. Like Z Transportation, for example, is out of New Jersey, and they do a lot of stuff up in the Northeast. I hate going to the Northeast. I hate it, So did I lose anything? No, because now I know I don't have to go up there, and I already go up there enough with the company I'm with. So if I'm going to another company, I want to know that I don't, that's going to be one of the first things I'm looking for is, hey, does this company not go up here or not go over there? There's plenty of companies where okay, here's an example. You're gonna look on the internet. You're gonna see a random ad for like Martin or somebody, right? And they're gonna say, "Oh, we're hiring. We really need people." And then you call them, and they're like, "Oh, sorry, we're not hiring for your area." It happens all the time. It does. It happens all the time. Like HMD, I think it was. They had a really good ad. They sounded really good. I called them, and they're like, "Sorry, we're only hiring for the Midwest." Because I think they were out of Illinois. So that happens all the time. So don't think just because that ad sounds all promising and it's like, oh, they need people. They're paying this much money. Yeah, they need people for certain areas of the country. You might go like, I'm in South Carolina. I've talked to numerous companies, over the last couple of years that don't want to hire me because I live in South Carolina. It happens all the time, dude. But there's also a million companies out there that will hire you. You got to remember, there's like just a ridiculous amount of trucking companies out there. There's always another one that you can go to. Just keep your nose clean. Stay, keep a clean record. Don't crash into things. Don't have violations, and you'll be fine. I just got a notification from my driver manager the other day. So you got a squeaky clean record. You haven't had one violation. And I was like, cool, how about a freaking bonus for that, like that's funny. It's like, they'll be like, oh, for 30 days, you've been totally consistent on your arrival times. You haven't been late. It's like, how about throw me $100 or something? That's why I wish I could talk to so many of the CEOs of these companies, man. It's like, dude, don't send me little messages across the Qualcomm and tell me that kind of shit. I don't care. If there's no money, then I really don't care. I already know I'm doing right. You don't need to tell me that. It's that kind of stuff will get on your nerves. It makes you feel good that you did right, but it's like, dude, give me like $100. That's nothing. But yeah. As far as the home time goes, it varies with every company. Some companies, well, I will tell you this: some companies will be really cool with you because they don't want to lose drivers. Like when I was with Biscuit and we were at CRST, he'd have problems at home, like with his grandma or something like that, and we would end up getting stuck for like an extra week. I remember one time, I think we were home up to like 14 days, and I was pissed because I did not want to be home that long. Because when you're home that long, you're not making any money. So that's another thing. If you do teams, you really need to talk to your buddy, and you need to be strict about certain things. Be like, look, there can't be that much home time. Sorry, those are things you just can't tolerate because you're not making any money. I understand life happens and shit like that. When my grandma died, I didn't even go home, and I felt like shit about it. But my parents called me. She was in the hospital. My mom and dad were like, "There's nothing you can do, man. There's zero. It's like she's on her way out. It's any day now. You might as well stay on the road." And I did. It was really shitty at the time, but I made the right decision. And there's a whole lot of facts around that it's none of your business, but that's just the way it was. But yeah, don't take advantage of your home time in the wrong way either. Make the best of your home time. Get shit done. Because when you're out on the road, that shit will bug you, man. You'll be like, man, I need to get this done. I got this to do and that to do. So when you come home, don't sit on your ass. Get the stuff done, because once you get out on the road, there's nothing you can do about it. And then you're stuck out there for 2 or 3 weeks. If you're starting out new, I would suggest trying to find a company that will only put you out there maybe 2 weeks. And there's plenty of them out there. Trust me, there's a whole bunch of them that'll do like 14 days out and 4 or 5 days home. There's a whole bunch of them. So the options are like unlimited for what you can do with your schedule. And if you want to stay out, don't think that because it says 14 days out that you have to stay out for only 14 days. They'll let you stay out there forever. They don't give a shit. They're making money. If you're like, hey, I'll stay out here for 2 months, they'll let you do it. They don't care, you know. But I will tell you on the opposite end of that, when you get in your truck the first day back, put in for your home time. Don't wait 2-3 weeks to put in for your home time. Do it immediately. And then when you talk to your driver manager a couple days in, be like, hey, did you see my home time request? Then he's like, yeah, I seen it. That means he's got 2 or 3 weeks to get that shit straight. You know, so you can't be like, or he can't be like, oh, well, you waited till the last second. No, I did it the second I got in the truck. It only takes 5 minutes to put that in. It's just a couple of numbers, you know? So anyway, that was my thoughts on home time and schedules. Like I said, it varies with everybody. It really just depends on the job you have, the company, where you're working, and do your best to get along with your driver manager. I know a lot of them are assholes, but there's also a lot of good driver managers out there too. So pick your battles wisely. Pick your battles wisely. Don't complain about every little thing. Otherwise, your complaints don't mean anything. If you complain about everything, then no one wants to listen to anything you have to say. So pick your battles wisely. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Common sense ain't common.